I am Ellen Stellion, the Midlife Empowerment Coach, and I'm thrilled to introduce Lyne Frank. Lyne is the creator of Ignite in Circle, a revolutionary 7-week program for women that combines the time-honored structure of a women's circle with personal growth training. Together, women learn to own their divine feminine power, cultivate self-worth, and ultimately achieve what they authentically want in life. When Lyne turned 40, like many of us, she went through a period of, is this it? At the time, Lyne had been an educator for 15 years with a thriving career and master's degree credentials. She was and is also a happy wife and mom to tweens. Lyne refers to the period that unfolded next as her midlife awakening and defines her program as her soul goal. Love that, Lyne. Welcome, welcome. I'm really looking forward to our conversation, and I'm going to start by asking you to share a little bit with our audience about women's circles and why they're so fabulous and we should all be in one.
Thank you, Ellen, for having me. I'm excited to be here. Just to give women a little bit of a background so that you understand where my purpose is rooted. I started my own transformational journey about 4 years ago. Trying to carve out time for myself in a really busy schedule seemed impossible till it isn't. Where there's a will, there is a way. And I knew for a long time that my goal was to empower women, but how and when, I wasn't sure. And then, oh my gosh, I turned 40 and I was like, this is it. It's now or never. I wasn't filled with anxiety or worry, but more excitement and enthusiasm for like what was going to come next. And I started doing my research, my homework, making time for myself, figuring out how I could achieve this goal that I had tucked away. I knew many years ago that this is where I should be, but social expectations bound me. And unfortunately, I just rode that wave, got an education, got a house, got a car, kids, marriage, career, and bam, here I am. And I feel really, really lucky to have been blessed with the time and opportunity to reach my soul goal, which is, ladies, you are my dream. I want to rise with you and empower you so that you too could live what you want. And I know you've heard that by many, but if you've never been empowered through Women's Circle, girl, you don't know what you don't know. And so I invite you wholeheartedly to join Ignite in Circle, find a women's circle in your community. It's hard for me to explain in words, but I'm hoping you could feel my energy, because there is nothing like being empowered in sisterhood. So what happens in a women's circle is you come together, usually weekly, monthly, usually around the full moon, but not necessarily. It really does depend on what works for the group, because women's circles are co-created, which means the intentions and the expectations are created as a group. And that is part of the beauty. There's no hierarchy. You enter into circle and there's 4 agreements that I as a facilitator use. The first is confidentiality. What happens in circle stays in circle. If a sister story feels true to you and you would like to share it, after circle closes, you would approach her and ask her if you could share her story, but never including her name. The second is breakthrough centered sharing. This is when you share your truth. This is when you open up, you become vulnerable, and you share something maybe you never thought you would, or you shared something you hid way down in layers. And I know what you're thinking, I don't know that I would open up like that. I dare you to join a woman's circle and to not feel that power and support. It is what allows you to break through, to release whatever it is you're holding on to. And the moment you do that, you open up all of this energy and this space for new life, new opportunity, new solutions. Because in circle, you're not going to get advice from sisters. You have the moment and time to listen to your inner knowing. And so with that is the third agreement, which is self-discipline. And that one is where, as you're speaking, we're listening, but like really attentively. We are riding the emotional roller coaster with you, with our minds, our body, our emotion. And so that at the end of your share, you feel heard. And then the last one, non-judgment, breakthrough-centered sharing, self-discipline, and confidentiality. Yep, that's 4. And so when you get together, we live in a patriarchal society. Surprise. And so oftentimes women are really connected with their masculine energies, the to-do list, the action, the budget. And what we're neglecting is that feminine power that you have within yourself. And so circle means you get to connect with other women in a way that women share only with women. So that means we're using and trying to connect with our feminine, our divine feminine, our gifts and our power, our intuition. Girl, you have that butterfly feeling, you get nervous. That's your body. It's telling you something. Take a moment to listen. Your intuition will guide you. And then there's that emotional intelligence. You know, society tries to shame us into being emotional, like that's a bad thing. No, it's not. Own your emotion, work through it, share it. Because what that does is it creates real relationships with the people that surround you. And once you have a relationship with someone, the productivity or the goal or the intimacy explodes into this beautiful thing. And let's remember that empathy is a gift and a superpower that women have. It's innate. It is in us. It is okay to love and to take care of, with boundaries, of course, because we have to be careful not to be taken advantage of. And all of this is discussed in circle, women coming together. And the last one, and Elaine, this will be it, is I love that women understand our interconnectedness. We have a special connection with Mother Earth. We are life givers. And so we understand the connection between people and between the environment. And that is a gift we don't use enough. And just something that often is highlighted in circle. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Try something new. If what you've done isn't working, don't do it again. I dare you to breathe in new life and try an experience that I'm confident won't let you down. So yeah, I just really want everyone to join a women's circle, because I know the power of sisterhood. And once you're supported like that, you seriously, you really can live that authentic life and feel true to yourself. Yeah.
You know, what you're talking about is so powerful. And I had the very lucky and I just feel very inspirational experience of being in one of Lynn's circles recently for another organization. And that experience is so, you know, it can be life-changing for so many women. And I can totally see, after going through one of your circles, with the question you asked our groups to go out and talk about in breakouts on Zoom was so powerful, and it really allows women to just be vulnerable as long as they feel safe. So I love that you have these agreements that you start with to really establish that safety that then helps us feel like I can really open up. I can really be showing up authentically as myself.
Yeah, it's really important. Too often society likes to pin women against women. And unfortunately, a lot of us carry a negative experience that we've had with another female. And sometimes I think society's designed that way to hold us back. What a neat little trick. Mm-hmm. Because if women don't empower women, then we're bound to a system that was never really created for us. And not that men who created the system intentionally did that, but they know their strengths. And so why not create a system that is designed for them to succeed? And I'm not saying let's not use those characteristics and those traits. Of course we have to, ladies, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm daring you and I'm asking you wholeheartedly to rise with the feminine so that the world is imbalanced. Because right now it's off key. Structures and the systems that are in control are dominantly led by men. And it takes only a moment to look around at your community, your global world, the world, like it doesn't matter, in your house, in your community, globally, you can see the cry and the need for feminine leadership to rise. And I really think a neat grassroots initiative is women's circles, because when we come together as a collective, we are a roar. We are a force. And that's really what I'm looking to get out there, and what I'm hoping women will realize they're missing.
Yeah, and your energy is infectious. I mean, just your presence is really just gives me energy, just even the way you're talking. And I feel like you're speaking directly to me. So I could see just how powerful this experience is. And it's important to have somebody facilitating the group who's experienced, and I know you are, at harnessing the collective energy, not just, her own, but really allowing every woman in the group to show up, to step up, to shine her own light into the group. So it sounds like that is something that's very powerful that happens in the group for women to really help each other step up and show up with everything they have.
Yeah, you come as you are. You come as you are. There's no right or wrong here. You show up as you are, and you are supported. We come together as a collective, but really we're all on our individual paths. And that's the beauty, the diversity of all those experiences coming together. The commonality is the feminine energy. And that automatically builds a sisterhood. And you're right, facilitating is important because it can easily become, like a coffee shop date or having girlfriends over in your living room. And it's not like that. And so thanks for pointing that out. That was really nice. Being a facilitator is, it is a very big responsibility that I take seriously, because we're busy. And so if a woman is dedicating time, I want to make sure that she's really able to achieve what she's hoping to, and that she's able to have the freedom and the courage to go within. And that usually, does need some prompting and questioning, and also intentionally creating the safe space that you talked about.
So how is this different, to your point, for, let me get some of my friends on Zoom and we're all going to chat or whatever. So for somebody who's never experienced a circle, can you describe sort of what it's like, or, how it's different than just a social hour?
Yeah. First of all, you would come to circle knowing there's usually a theme. And so you've kind of thought about, like the circle you did, we did feminine leadership. And so as you came to circle, there were some guided questions that you come to and have a moment to think about just on your own. There's no talking, just some music. Usually I encourage the women to ignite their senses. So, like my diffuser's going, I burnt some sage earlier, I have my latte. You really want to create, you're making sure you're letting go of the shit you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
You are showing up calm and knowing that, and if you don't show up calm, it's okay, because we're going to do a bit of breath work to get you prepared, right? To help the energy sink. And then we usually, once you're in circle, have like a radar, a little introduction, maybe a quick, how are you feeling? And it's an emotional response, and then we break out into an activity, getting to know each other. But really what is different is the questioning and the depth to which you share. It's talking about feminine spirituality, body image, and being real about those issues with other women, women to women relationships, things we don't like to talk about, things that might be uncomfortable, but man, the things we need to heal from, the bullshit we're carrying.
Mhm.
And so that's really what you're trying to release. Circle comes down to sharing and healing. And once you are able to do those things, then it's growth. And that's where you get to rethink how you want to live authentically.
So is there usually with your circles, is there an end result you're striving for? Is each session or in the whole process?
Yeah, I don't like to put a big expectation on women because there's no wrong here. There's, that idea of needing to reach a specific something is something we've been trained to do
Yeah.
in our society.
Yes.
Oh, if I'm doing this, what do I get at the end? Check.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Guilty. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Of course. Hey, it's how we live. I get it. But you're freed of that in Circle. So the idea really, when you come to Circle, the expectation is that you found a place where you are you, where you're not judged, where you feel safe to share, and you're going to grow. You won't leave Ignite in Circle a changed person. What that looks like for you, only you will know. And that's the beauty. It's
Yeah.
that authentic. It's that real. There's no magic, recipe or steps. It is a process, and the way you take in what we're sharing and how you work through your own transformation really is up to you. And there's no timeline. Some women have an aha and they're like, oh my gosh, of course. And there they go. And other women are like, yeah, I kind of had this idea, but could we meet in Circle next month?
Nice.
So, yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about your program, and are you doing it? I think you've done in-person ones, but now they're remote, and sort of how that works, and typically what the size of a group might be.
Yeah. So I won't do Women's Circle greater than 15 women. Could I? Yeah, probably. But the truth is, I want the experience to be shared. And if I have too many women, I just don't think everyone will get what they need out of the time in Circle. And so I've done groups as small as 4. So 4 to 15. It varies.
Yeah.
Some women have come just with their friends. And so it's like I run the program with a smaller group.
Oh, nice.
And others, it's a collective of strangers who sign up individually. And that actually is what happens most often.
Yeah.
Women sign up, and then, on the certain day, on my website, there's a day and time. And so right now I'm running 1 virtual and 2 in person that will start in May, because I just finished a round. So I'm giving myself a few weeks. You have to be energized because you want to hold energy for these women. And so I never do back-to-back sessions. I also have to create boundaries for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next session started May, and I wrote a book, Ignite in Circle. And so it accompanies the program. And so what happens, Hélène, is you would read a chapter in the book, and there is an action piece there. I'm an action coach, so we could chit chat all day, but my goal really is to move you into action. And so you would do the piece at home. It is usually an activity you're comfortable with, something you've done before, or it uses that to-do list, that masculine that you know of already. And then you come to Circle. We gather, we unwind, And then we take about 15 minutes to talk about the book intuitively. This is not a must share, just women who want to share an aha moment, something they didn't, know about, or they had trouble understanding. And we discuss that. But then we move into the theme of the circle. And the theme of the circle is taking something out of the book, but really diving in through a feminine perspective. And that's when we dig deep. And that's when we're like, what does this really mean for me as a woman? And we come together. Sometimes we break out into breakout rooms so women can have time to have a conversation one-on-one or groups of 3, depending how large the circle is. But then we come back. It's really important to always come back in circle, and we do a share. And we end circle usually with a meditation or a visualization. And then, then the next week you read the next chapter and we come together and circle again. So there's that balance that I was talking about, the masculine and the feminine coming together. That's why this program is so awesome. Like, I know I don't like, so women don't want to do that, by the way. Society has told us, if you're talking positive about yourself, you're showing off. Remember that term?
Yeah.
Or you're bragging. I'm going to call bullshit on that. I worked really hard on this program. 4 years ago, I started my transformational program. I got a new editor. I had to rewrite the whole book.
Wow.
And it is amazing. It's actually awesome. But that's what it does. Is it allows you to work those masculine traits that you already know that we do, but it's inviting you in circle to the feminine, which I really think is what we need right now.
I really more. Yeah. We need more feminine energy, and that's exactly what you're espousing and facilitating for women. So I love that. And you also have an amazing offer for our audience. Yeah. So tell us more how people can reach you to take advantage of that offer.
All right, ladies, send me an email, info@lynefrank.com. It'll be, I'm sure, down below.
In the comments, yeah.
In the comments, yeah. And just tell me that you watched me, you watched this interview with Helene and I will send you the Zoom link for the Women's Circle that I'm holding in May. And you can test it out, check it out. Maybe you'll enjoy it. And maybe you'll sign up for Ignite in Circle, 7 weeks, or maybe you'll just find a local circle near you. Seriously, whatever works. The point is to get you in circle. So
you offer a free or whatever circle, a taster circle once a month typically? I
don't actually.
No.
It's okay. Pretty valuable.
Yeah. Wow. So this is very special.
It is. Yeah, it is. Because it's only done monthly. And, the women who come, it's a neat little crowd. And so I don't usually need to offer women the opportunity because, usually you can try out a circle once and be okay with, paying for that experience.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So they're lucky. You're lucky. If you're watching this, you're lucky.
Yes. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for your offer. That's very generous. And I would encourage everyone to email Lynn and have this experience because it is a very powerful and it's a weird combination of energizing and soothing at the same time. It's like you did the energy, but also just a sense of calm and peace that comes over you, having had the power of connection with other women. And so it's a very interesting dynamic where you can be both energized and at peace when you come out of circle.
Yeah. You're meant to feel good.
Yeah, it really is a feel good. It's like kind of like massage / meditation, with a best girlfriend kind of thing. So it's like you get all wrapped up in one. And
you know what? Sometimes you don't feel good. I'm just going to let it be real. Sometimes you don't because you've been triggered.
Oh, interesting.
And right. You've been, you've heard something that a sister has shared, or you feel something, and that's part of healing.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you might get stuck in that trigger and you will need more time to process what you're feeling and ask why am I feeling this
Right.
way? Why did that trigger me? And when you take the time to do that, there's usually more digging. And so that happens too. And when that happens, you just have to remember that you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Right? Change is not easy. You're not going to get to the next step, you know, without any conflict or obstacles. That's going to happen. That's real.
Yeah. And that is real. And I feel like the trigger is really a message, right? It's really
Yeah.
a wake up, an awareness that, oh, something is off here. What is that about that I feel so, that I'm so agitated by this?
Yeah.
And that usually points to something you need to work on, you that in yourself, something that's difficult for you, or that's something that you haven't really had a chance to think about or process. And that is an opportunity, really.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for showing up today, Lynn, and for giving us just a taste of what, what it might be like to be in a circle and what your energy feels like. It just is so powerful from my experience with you. And I encourage everybody to take advantage of your wonderful offer. I will put all the links in the comments, and I certainly hope everyone will reach out to you. And I appreciate everybody for watching, and thanks to Lynn for sharing your expertise and experience. And don't forget to check out all the links. And if you enjoy these videos, please watch for more. And until then, be well and stay safe, everybody.
Merci. Thank you. Bye.